Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Jai Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Śrimad Prabhu Satiraj Śrimad Jai Jai Śrimad Prabhu Śrila Prabhupada Antaraj Śrimad Bhagāvatam Saveta Gaura Bhaktarinda Jai Gaur Premanande All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. All glories to some devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Duranga. All glories to Shri Guru Maharaj. Prabhu, can you get the button? I'll just. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Śrimad Bhagāvatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, The Passing Away of Bhishmadev, Text 29. Text 29. Haramam pravadatastasya sakala pratyupastitaha yo yoginashchandam mrityor vanchitastutarayanah Dharamam pravadatastasya sakala pratyupasitaha yo yoginashchandam mrityor vanchitastutarayanah Dharamam pravadatastasya sakala pratyupasitaha Yo yoginashchandamrityor Vanchitastuttarayanah Dharmam pravadatastasya Sakala pratyupasitaha Yoginashchandamrityor Vanchitastuttarayanah Dharmam pravadatastasya Sakala pratyupasitaha Yo yoginashchandamrityor Vanchitastuttarayanah Dharmam pravadatastasya Sakala pratyupasitaha Yoginashchandamrityor Vanchitastuttarayanah. Forward. Dharmam, occupational duties. Pravadavaha, while describing. Tasya, his. Saha, that. Kalaha, time. Pratyupastitaha, exactly appeared. Yaha, that is. Yoginaha, for the mystics. Chandamrityo, of one who dies to one's own selection of time. Vanchitaha is desired by. To, but. Uttarayanaha, the period when the sun runs on the northern horizon. Translation. While Bhishmadev was describing occupational duties, the sun's course ran into the northern hemisphere. This period is described by mystics who die at their will.
就在波斯马德瓦讲述规定职责时，太阳运行到了北半球，可以控制自己的死亡时间的神秘主义者们都期待着这一时刻。
Purport. The perfect yogis or mystics can leave the material body at their own sweet will at a suitable time and go to a suitable planet desired by them. In the Bhagāvatam 8.24, it is said that self-realized souls who have exactly identified themselves with the interest of the Supreme Lord can generally leave the material body during the time of the fire god's effulgence, and when the sun is in the northern horizon, and thus achieve the transcendental sky. In the Vedas, these times are considered auspicious for quitting the body, and they are taken advantage of by the expert mystics who have perfected the system. Perfection of yoga means attainment of such supernatural states as to be able to leave the material body as desired. Yogis can also reach any planet within no time without a material vehicle. The yogis can reach the highest planetary system in a very short time. And this is impossible for the materialist. Even attempting to reach the highest planet will take millions of years at the speed of millions of miles per hour. This is a different science, and Bhishmadev knew well how to utilize it. He was just waiting for the suitable moment to quit his material body, and the golden opportunity arrived when he was instructing his noble grandsons, the Pandavas. He thus prepared himself to quit his body before the exalted Lord Sri Krishna, the pious Pandavas, and the great sages headed by Bhagavan Vyasa, etc., all great souls.
要指高级瑜伽师 Yoga 或称神秘主义者，可以按照他们自己的意愿，在合适的时间离开物质躯体，到他们想去适合的星球去。佛家梵歌第8章的第24诗节中说，在火神的影响下，当太阳在北方运行的时刻，完全按照至尊主的愿望行事的觉悟了自我的灵魂，通常可以离开物质躯体，到灵性天空去。据韦达经中记载，这些时间被认为是离开躯体的吉祥时刻。完成了系统瑜伽 Yoga 练习的富有经验的神秘主义者，就会充分利用这些时刻离开躯体。瑜伽的完美境界意味着达到了能够按自己的意愿离开物质躯体的这一超凡状态。瑜伽师还能够在不借物质交通工具的情况下，在转眼间到任何他想去的星球去。瑜伽师可以在很短的时间内到达物质世界里最高的星系，这对于物质主义者来说是不可能的事情。对他们来说，到最高的星球去要以时速几百万英里的速度走上几百万年才可以。这是一门不同的科学，而 Bhishmadeva 很清楚如何运用这门科学。他一直等待着离开他的物质躯体最适合的时刻。就在他教导他高尚的孙子潘达瓦兄弟时，离开物质躯体的黄金时刻到了。因此，在崇高的圣主 Krishna 虔诚的潘达瓦兄弟和以人格守神化身为亚苏达为首的大圣人们面前，他做准备离开他的物质躯体。
Om Gyan Brandasya Gyanandana Shalakaya Chakshurunnitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakara Mayam Darati Svapadantikam Namao Vishtapadaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Nirvina Swami Namane Namao Vishtapadaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Acharya Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Tashta Sadeshatayani Vanchikalpatrabhyascha Subhasandhya Evacha Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this verse, we are already coming closer to when Bhishmadev is about to leave his body. We're coming closer to the time when Bhishmadev is about to leave his body. We are coming closer to the time when Bhishmadev will leave his body. And so Bhishmadev wanted to leave when the sun starts traveling into the northern hemisphere. Bhishmadev wanted to leave his body when the sun will start traveling to the northern hemisphere.
嗰啲選擇嘅離開軀體嘅時間咧，就係、太陽向北方面運行嘅時候。
So during this, from June 15th to from July 15th to January 15th, the sun is traveling southwards. South is there, right?
June 16, Bhagāvatam.
July 15th. July
15 to
January 15th.
January 15。咁就喺每年嘅7月16至到January
Yes, the first month.
January 15咧，就係、太陽向北方運行嘅時候。
And from January 15th to July 15th, it's traveling northwards.
相反方向咧就係、1月16開始咧，我哋話太陽向翻唔係北邊。
And so what that means for us to understand is that from July to June, so during the midsummer, then the sun starts traveling closer to this. So after July 15th, it starts the course of the sun is closer and closer and closer to the south.
January
From July 15th to January 15th.
7月15到1月16，太陽咧就係、一路就向翻南邊。
So every day it's coming from east to west, but then every day after that it's either going more north or more south. And so, for example, at summertime the sun is above the sky because it's been traveling northwards.
咁太陽喺東邊出西邊落咧，然後之後咧佢就慢慢向翻南方嗰度轉嘅太陽。
And so it's considered an auspicious time according to astrology.
呢個係根據星相學嚟決定。
And so, according to those calculations, Vishwadev, we would think, left his body after January 15th.
所以必須啲人決定選擇咧，佢離開軀體嘅時間咧係 January 15。
Yes, we think.
1月15之後佢離開身體。
But actually, that date, when the sun starts moving north, actually changes every century approximately. It moves up or down.
每個國家嘅嗰個太陽運行係有少少分別。
So,
太陽向北嘅時間有啲。
so now it's January 15th, but after maybe 5,000 years, it will be around March 15th.
Around
March,
March.
3 months after.
That means what?
Means every 100 years, approximately, it moves 1 day forward. Or 2 days forward. So after 100 years, it will be January 16th. After 200, January 17th.
100年之後嗰個太陽運行嘅時間有啲唔同分別。3年之後。
And so, because it's the solar calendar and not the lunar calendar, some devotees get confused and think Vishwadev was lying on the battlefield for 1 month.
所以按照唔同嘅月嚟根據咧，有啲人相信啲係喺戰場躺喺嗰個戰床咧係1個月。
Because we celebrate Gita Jayanti when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, usually in the beginning of December. December. Yes.
喺12月初咧，我哋係慶祝國家辦嗰個紀念日啦，嗰個結嗰陣啦。
And so the war lasted 18 days. The Kurukshetra war lasted 18 days.
18.
1-8. 18. Yeah, the war. Yes.
富裕之夜其實只係打鬥戰鬥咗18日啫。
And then Bhishmadev doesn't say exactly how many days, but Bhishmadev was lying after the war for a few days. Not too many days. It doesn't say how many days. Doesn't say how many days, but a few days. Few.
building, lie on the bed,
On the arrows,
or the arrow.
the arrow bed, when Arjuna shot.
Building.
After the war, after those 18 days of the war, for a few more days.
咁喺傅兒珠日結束之後，啲軍啲係坐喺戰床上咧，係佢跑咗幾日，
So he probably left his body somewhere around Christmas time.
就係佢係夏天嘅時間死亡嘅。
But the main point is the last sentence in the purport. Prabhupada says that Bhishmadev wanted to quit his body when Krishna and all other great devotees were around him.
咁其實重點咧就喺要旨最後嗰句，係必須啲選擇離世時間咧係當聖主 Krishna 同埋芬達華兄弟同埋其他聖人喺佢面前出現咧，佢先離開身體。
Because as Krishna says in Bhagāvatam, what you remember at the time of death, that's where you will go, that's whom you will become.
係國家梵嗰 Krishna 講過咧，當你臨終嘅時候，你想咗咩情況咧，你必然達到嗰個狀況。
And so, for example, if you, during the moment of death, you remember, let's say, your husband or your wife, let's say your wife, then, as a husband, then the next life, you'll probably be a woman. Because you like a woman, so you want to be a woman.
一個丈夫喺度臨終嘅時候想咗妻子咧，咁下一生咧好大機會咧成為女士。
If at the moment of death you're thinking of some animal, let's say a cow, next life you'll be a cow.
No people like to dog or cat。咁如果動物咧，你想做動物咧，譬如牛啊馬咧，你下一生就變成牛俾馬。
Yes, and a good example, if you
貓狗。
have a cat or a dog as a pet, and you like them so much and you're dying, you'll probably think of them.
尤其是好多人而家搶啲寵物咧，貓同埋狗咧，咁你臨終就好大機會想做呢隻貓或者狗，你下一生就成為佢哋。
And so what happens at the moment of death is your whole life flashes at the moment of death.
咁所以當你臨終嘅時候，你整身嗰個動向啊，就好似電影咁樣呈現喺你面前啊。
And the most prominent, the most important moments, they stick out and you remember them. You think of them more.
尤其是最後嗰一刻咧，你想得更加深刻喺你腦海。
And if your daily life, every day, it's not about Krishna, then you won't remember Krishna at the end.
所以我每天咧都應該係想住 Krishna 冥想住佢。
So it's very important that every day you spend most of the day being Krishna conscious.
所以好重要啊！第一刻咧就每一天你都要成為保持 Krishna 之覺。
For some, they're more fortunate to be Krishna conscious from a young age. To be Krishna conscious from a young age, those are fortunate.
以為你冇錯，所以從你年輕開始，從小開始你啊有 Krishna 之覺係非常重要啊！就係其中之一。
But it's not a problem if you join Krishna consciousness later in your life, if that becomes the most important thing.
咁即使你喺生命嘅後期都係 Krishna 之覺咧，應該係呢個最重要嘅時刻嘅對你生活。
And so, a few verses back, I think 10 verses back, Bhishmadev was saying that at the moment of death, the Lord will come to the mind of the dying person if he practices bhakti. So the Lord, Krishna, will come to the mind of the dying person if he's been practicing bhakti.
喺臨終嘅時候 ，Krishna 嘅話語咧喺呢個語中係記憶得最清楚、最深刻。
And so the important point there is, if you practice bhakti, if you practice devotional service, then Krishna will come to your mind.
所以假如你係收集北超嘅，我而家 Krishna 就會進入你嘅腦海，讓你記憶。
And so, again, the most important thing of your life, you'll remember the death. And so it will be your family, your friends, your job. If you're not Krishna conscious, you'll remember your family, your friends, your job at the moment of death. you'll remember your family, your friends, your job, your work when you're dying.
Do not remember.
You will remember. You will remember.
咁假如你臨終就想住你嘅家人啊、工作啊、朋友之類咧，你就下一生就到達呢啲層面。
And so if you have devotee friends, if your family is devotee, and your job is connected to Krishna consciousness, then it's good because that's who you will remember. And because you're devotees, that will help you.
假如你嘅工作咧同 Krishna 有關聯嘅你朋友或家人都係同 Krishna 有連結嘅話咧，你就好容易，即使係同佢哋一起咧，你都可以想到 Krishna 重點嚟。
To have a Krishna conscious family, not that hard. And friends also not that hard. Not hard. Not hard. Easy.
Easy.
Not so easy, but
Okay, not too difficult.
but not too difficult.
其實事實上你要有 Krishna 知覺嘅朋友或者家人唔係咁難嘅。
With your job, it's a bit harder because you can't really choose your job. Not so many options. To have a Krishna conscious job, that's hard.
假如你個工作係同 Krishna 有關嘅，咁係最好嘅。
And so, there are many other activities during the day that you cannot remember Krishna. Like for example, you're driving, you can't think of Krishna, otherwise you'll crash your car.
生活之中有時你係唔容易記起 Krishna，譬如你揸車嘅時候，如果你淨係記住 Krishna，你可能會撞車。
If you're doing accounting, counting numbers, or you're doing a math exam, you can't think of Krishna because you have to think of the numbers.
In the bank,
Yeah, but if you only think of one thing,
譬如你嘅工作係同數錢有關，譬如你係 bank 銀行，咁你想要 Krishna，你可能會數錯。
if you're crossing the road, if you think of Krishna, you might bump into somebody else.
如果你過馬路時，你諗住 Krishna，你可能會撞到其他人。
And so there are many examples like that. But what you can do is, before you start the activity, and when you complete the activity, you remember Krishna.
咁點辦咧？我推介方法就係喺呢個活動之前後咧，你諗住 Krishna 咧，嗰一刻盡量諗。
So before going to the car, you remember Krishna. When you get out from the car, you remember Krishna.
譬如咧，你入個車開車之前想住 Krishna 啦，落車之後想住 Krishna 啦，咁啊，盡量多啲時間俾啲 Krishna。
And as Krishna says in Bhagāvatam, whatever you do, whatever you eat, offer that to me.
國家梵歌 Krishna 就曾經講過，你任何做任何事情咧，供奉嘅咧，都作為對我嘅供奉。
Offer the results of the activities.
將你嘅活動嘅成果交俾我。
And so, let's say you're doing your job, you can't remember Krishna the whole time. So before in the morning, that's why maybe you have some time, chant japa, read Bhagāvatam, come to the temple if you can.
譬如你工作咧嘅時候好難想起 Krishna 咧，咁你喺朝早嘅時間咧，工作之前咧，盡量練幾個圈啦，譬如 japa 我呢個級別。
Yes, yes,
India very quiet.
yes.
Yeah.
Like he just came to devotee here.
佢係好虔誠嘅，佢工作上班之前一定嚟見下神像。
In Jaipur, the city in India, Jaipur, there is a temple of Govindaji.
買啲嘢。喺齋浦咧個神像係 Govindaji，巴得咁。
And so many businessmen, they come from Mangalarati to Govindaji temple.
好多商人咧都係好熟晨早起床咧，就呢個廟宇去上掹啦啲吉祥燈。
It's not the whole city, but a lot of people come from Mangalarati every
唔
day.
係整個城市咧，但係大部分人都會嚟掹吉祥。
Then they go for their job, and in the evening they come back for the evening arati.
And then they come back.
Evening arati.
Again 其實得。
Yes.
咁上完掹吉佢就工作啦，但下班之後咧，佢哋又去廟堂。
But it at least come once a day. Maybe morning, maybe evening, or both, but at least once.
起碼一日嚟一次，或者早上或者黃昏咧，又或者兩者都嚟。Very quiet.
Yes, of course you can have deities at home and you can worship them. But when you come to the temple, your mind changes because I'm coming to the temple instead of just Hare Krishna at home.
當 當然你一間入去有神像啦，但係啲廟堂咧嗰個印象，你見到親臨主嘅臨在啊，好似你就更加深刻嘅。
That's why we have temples, so that everybody can come together and together pray to the Lord.
所以我哋推介大家一齊去做呢啲活動咧，咁個印象更加深刻。
Because when we do things together, it's much easier to do them.
Yeah, sure. 因為一起嘅力量咧，肯定係更加大。
It's like if you have a goal to do something, let's say, go to the gym to do workout. If you're doing it alone, after a few days, you're like, that's it, I'm tired. But if you have friends who are doing it together, when you feel lazy, you're like, come on, let's go.
所以而家目前好流行嘅 gym 啊、運動室啊嗰啲，通常一個人嘅咧，初初你可能有興趣，過幾日你可能冇咁大興趣。但係假如你同佢一齊去咧，你有時想唔去做咧，個朋友會推動你一齊去啦咁，所以係一齊係應該有。
But that doesn't mean that your job it can be impious. Just because you're coming to the temple in the morning and evening, but then your job is doing something sinful, that's not good. Your job has to be pious.
The job has to be
Pious.
pious.
Pious. Sattvaguna. Sattvaguna.
三不官。咁講到工作咧，你最好揾一個係善良屬性嘅工作，咁你會容易啲嘅去 business。
So, for example, you cannot be working at a slaughterhouse or selling alcohol or any of those sinful
譬如
activities.
好似你去屠場或者賣酒嘅地方工作咧，咁就唔係咁好啦。
And so, there's a fine line. Like, for example, let's say you're just doing some accounting, but then you're working for a company that kills cows. So, is that good? Is that bad? Is it okay?
所以有好小心選擇嘅職業啦，你可以選擇會計啊，但另外一方面佢係做屠場啊，咁你自己選擇。
And so, simple answer, no, it's not okay.
No.
Simple answer, it's not okay.
你係乜都出，咪即係佢個意思啫。如果你係成日都嚟廟咧，唔係如果你成日都嚟廟咧，但你個工作或者係做嗰個accounting， 但係咧嗰個 accounting 係關於殺牛嗰啲嘢咧，就唔得嘅。即係嗱，點解咁樣？
但即使你每日回廟去見神像咧，大家你嘅工作係同殺生啊、殺牛啊，甚至飲酒有關嘅都唔得。
But if you think about it, most of the companies are sinful.
Yeah.
Most companies,
Most companies
sinful.
simple。
Mm-hmm.
咁但係其實大部分嘅公司都係有罪嘅。
And so you have to try to find a company or a place you work which is not that bad.
所以你要選擇一啲比較冇咁罪孽深重嘅工作。
Because if you have a family, you have to feed, or you will have a family later if you're young, you still have to find a job, and you can't choose any job. So you have to try to, for example, let's say, you have to try to find a job which is not that bad.
咁由於家庭啊其他嘅關係，你唔可能轉着你係最理想嘅工作咧，但係自己都要小心去選擇。
So for example, maybe there is a job to work at the welcome store.
The job for what?
Welcome store?
Oh, welcome.
Yes.
Reception.
Yes. In the grocery store?
譬如有一個工作喺welcome supermarket。
Welcome. Oh, welcome.
譬如
Supermarket.
Yes. So for example, you can get a job there. But then there, they sell alcohol, they sell meat. So you're gonna ask maybe, well, can I get a job, for example, not to touch meat and not to touch alcohol?
咁譬如你去超市工作咧，因為超市會賣肉啊、賣酒嘅，咁你都可以考慮下呢一啲公司咧係做呢啲罪惡。
我問佢哋，我可唔可以掂啲酒同埋啲肉？
咁你可以選擇唔好買酒啊，唔可以唔賣酒同肉。
Yeah, not possible.
Yeah, so it's very hard. Or for example, let's say you have a job as a stewardess on the plane.
Yeah.
and there you have to serve food
Yeah.
and alcohol.
呢個係
What are you supposed to do?
咁容易做到，因為譬如喺飛機工作啊，你要去服務嗰啲午餐咁晚餐，咁都係有肉嘅時候，或者飲酒咁。
So those are tough situations.
呢個係比較難嘅處境。
And so if you have a job like that, let's say, it is better that you ask your guru, Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru, some senior devotee, for the permission or maybe explanation how to go through it. Avoid or maybe do it, but then what to do after
你
that.
面對啲咁嘅困境，你可以問下你嘅靈性導師啊、訓示靈性導師，點樣可以避免一啲咁嘅罪惡活動嘅公司啊。
Of course, it's best not to do such jobs, but if you have to, then talk to senior devotee. If you have to do such jobs, like in the welcome store, supermarket, or stewardess,
講嘅關鍵咧就係你選擇工作咧，最好同護者有關啊，同靈性有關嘅。In China, it's more difficult.
yes. Yes.
Can I just quickly ask, for example, if I find a partner, I mean, future husband,
Yes.
that is not Iskcon,
Yes.
then I better ask like a Shiksha Guru or a Diksha Guru.
Yeah.
Like,
Translate the question.
即係我意思，如果遲啲我會揾到一個丈夫，但佢唔係 Iskcon 嘅 devotee，或者遲啲如果我揾到個丈夫，但佢唔係 Iskcon devotee，咁我係咪需要即係咪最好問Shiksha Guru 或者 Diksha Guru 先？即係睇下，即係或者即係我係唔會，即係我係梗係愛上咗佢啊，唔會諗其他嘢，即係。仲係做Iskcon 嘅 devotee， 但係係咯，應該會危險，係咪要問？
You have to choose.
It's a very good question because you find somebody, you like them, but then they're not devotees.
係好好嘅，因為譬如
What to
你
do?
一個你愛嘅人咧，但係唔係奉獻者點辦？
So you should try to make your future partner, your future husband, whoever that is, to become a devotee. But if he's not willing to be a devotee, then it will be harder for you to be a devotee. Yes.
咁所以唯一嘅辦法咧，或者你將你個所愛嘅人咧，其實將佢變成奉獻者啦。假如佢見唔到嘅話，咁咪點？佢是一個忠誠嘅。
如果咁我自己會好難做一個 Iskcon 嘅奉獻。
假如你選擇唔到咧，如果你一半係非奉獻者咧，咁你喺想成為靈修上邊
會好困難。
會比較困難，要自己考慮。
他願意成為一個信徒，他願意成為一個忠誠的人，成為一個信徒。
即係假如佢另一半或者你個愛人願意成為同你一齊收集，咁就最好。This is very ideal，呢個好理想。
And so, as I said before, if you have family, friends, and your job which is not Krishna conscious, at the time of death, because you like your friends, you like your family, you like your job, you may remember them instead of Krishna.
咁所以個重點咧，其實係提醒我哋，假如你另一半咧唔係非常知覺啊，非奉獻者，因為你經常同佢一齊啊生活，你臨終嘅時候可能學想起唔係非常呢個係危機。
But every situation is very different, very individual. So you have to ask your senior, to whom you always go to.
咁其實每一個處境有唔同嘅處理方法啦，原來好多時候應該可以詢問下你身邊嘅顧問或者指導你嘅人。
And so there are many rules, and which are in the Shastra. Prabhupada said, but everything is individual. Even the 4 regulative principles, sometimes you cannot follow all of them for medical reasons, for example.
其實有啲事係比較個人嘅，即使你係守社會規範咧，都唔係一定每樣守得咁好，又或者家下方面有啲唔同嘅困難，呢個係好普遍。
And so, for example, let's say you need to take some medicine which has some non-vegetarian medicine.
咩 vegetarian 咩叫 medicine？
而佢咧，即係或者啲中藥有啲
I
動
use
物，即係
medicine.
有動物喺。
Yeah, I have experience. I
Yes.
change. I ask
Yeah.
the doctor to change.
Yeah, but for example, you can change. But there's only one medicine for your, maybe you have some rare disease.
So what to do?
Then ask your spiritual guide.
咁另外一個例子就譬如你睇中醫咧，中藥有啲動物成分咧，咁有時你可以代替咧叫醫生，但係真係唔可以代替嘅時候咧，呢個時候你可以問下你嘅靈性導師，係咪冇問題咧
Maybe for example,
？I have the
Yes.
medicine, except
yes, but you still have to ask.
I still have the
Otherwise, you think, oh, this is medicine.
yeah, but safely
Yes,
be careful.
yes,
咁有時聽聞話，有啲藥用咧，如果 not percent enjoyment，
Yes.
but still is not
Yes.
safe.
yes.
雖然唔係咁寬享落，你食日都要有啲反應，所以你自己考慮。
Or for example, for
for
example, Ekadashi, and then your guru tells you go and preach and travel, and that place there's nothing Ekadashi, no fruits, maybe it's in desert, no fruits, no vegetables, only grains. So with permission from guru, on Ekadashi you can take grains.
其中一個例子，譬如喺有時你係旅遊啊，咁嗰時係冇辦法避免唔食五穀嘅時候，又冇其他選擇，呢啲情況你又亦都可以詢問靈性導師嘅指引。
And so everything is individual.
所以每件事情都係個人唔同嘅處理。
But coming back to Mataji's question about husband, a similar story is Ajamal.
咁剛才阿 Lina 大家又問，如果丈夫唔係奉獻者點處理？咁一個例子就阿珍嘅例子。
The story of Ajamal was there was a boy who went to a Vedic school, proper spiritual education, but then he met a prostitute and he married her and had children. Ajamal, he went to Gurukul, then met a prostitute, married her and had children with her.
咁阿張你嘅例子就係因為遇到個妓女咧，咁後來同佢結婚咧，終於有孩子。
And because she wanted to enjoy, then he was not a devotee, she wasn't a devotee, and the children were not devotees.
咁呢妓女當然唔係奉獻者啦，孩子們都唔係奉獻者。
But he named his son Narayana.
但係咧，佢將佢兒子改名為那拉人佬。
And different acharyas explain why he named Narayana, but a simple reason is because he had good education.
咁呢阿差人解釋點解呢個原因，點解你叫個仔就那拉人？由於佢有好嘅教育背景。
And so when he was studying, when he was young, they explained to him in the school that it is good to name your children with names of God.
所以如果有孩子嘅話咧，係推介你將佢個名改為神嘅名先。
And so when he was dying, he thought of his son. Narayan, Narayan. He called his son.
其實想有個孩子問佢那拉人，那拉人。
And then Yamadutas from the hellish planets, they came because he was so sinful his whole life, ready to take him to the hellish planets.
當佢臨終嘅時候咧，死亡，因為棺材咧就用個鬼出嚟想拉佢走啊！
But then the Vishnudutas came from the spiritual world because he said, Narayan.
棺材咧必須係帶個使者嚟到喺靈氣世界降凡。
And the Yamadutas are saying, why are you coming here, Vishnudutas? He's so sinful. He has to go to hell.
啱啱就好奇怪，必須棺材講佢咁罪惡，你哋做乜落嚟成打鬥？
But then the Vishnudutas said that even Yamaraj, you're in charge, said that if a person remembers Krishna, remembers God at the end of his life, he is going back.
係因為佢就唔得，所以佢到我嘅頭講嘅，任何人自假如喺臨終時候記起主嘅，或者佢嘅姓名咧，佢都得到救贖。
And so it's important that even if throughout our life you're not devotees, if you have children, you should try to educate them spiritually at the beginning.
所以好重要一點咧，即使你 你嘅家人唔係奉獻者，但係你將你嘅兒子咧教育成係靈性咧係好重要。
Because the way you bring up your children, that's how they're going to be for the rest of their life.
因為你點樣去栽培你嘅兒子成長咧，佢嗰一生咧就係咁樣模式嘅。
And so even the most popular psychologist, Sigmund Freud, on whom all the psychology is built, he says that everything, the character, what you do, comes from childhood.
所以心理學家都咁講嘅，一個人嘅成長咧喺佢童年嘅時候咧開始定咗型。
And so there are different samskaras described in the Vedic scriptures, which you can perform for your children.
咁所以經典好多啲嘅心卡咧就淨化嘅儀式咧，係幫到啲孩童咧係得到淨化成長。
And so the word samskara means impression.
心卡嘅意思其實就係印象。
And so it leaves an impression on the mind of the child.
即係將呢個印象好深咁樣印喺個孩童嘅腦海。
And personally, I've seen many children who had all samskaras performed. Those children are very smart, very polite, very well behaved. Yes.
咁經過呢啲心卡儀式嘅孩童咧，佢成長嘅過程同埋啲表現係非常優秀，好有禮貌，好有教育性。
And so by the age of 6, 7, you tell them anything, they remember. You tell them anything when they're young, 6, 7, 8, any age, they remember.
佢記憶咧係特別好嘅，咁佢年輕你講一樣佢係會記得。
I'm still not sure what happens, why they become so smart, but they become smart. I'm not sure what happens when you do the samskara, but it works.
我都唔明點解做咗心卡會咁，但係事實表現出嚟就係咁。
But if you cannot do samskaras, you have no priest, or you're somewhere else, or whatever, still try to bring up your children in a Krishna conscious lifestyle.
假如即係你冇呢個條件或者環境去同一個孩童做呢個心卡嘅儀式咧，同時但係你可以都係將佢做成非常意識知覺咁成長。
Of course, they should get proper education, but apart from the education they're getting, like academic education, they should be also getting Krishna conscious education.
當然啦，教育係好重要啦，譬如啲大學嘅知識啊咁，但係同時咧你要將靈性知識就係灌輸俾。
And so that will help them throughout their life, and maybe like a Jamal, they will do something smart during their life so that they remember Krishna in the
從
end.
小咁樣培育佢哋咧，喺佢成長過程之中嘅旅程之中，佢就變得非常精進。
For others who weren't born in devotee families, didn't have samskaras, you should start now.
咁所以你家庭係容許可以做心卡或者最好立刻做，如果有孩子。
The more activities you have during the day which are Krishna conscious, the higher chance that at the end of life you'll remember the Lord.
所以從注世係灌輸呢啲靈性知識咧，越早灌輸呢啲知識咧，越大嘅機會咧喺生命嘅高嘅時候咧
Yes.
可以達至成功。
You say at the end of the life, you remember the Lord.
佢哋喺臨終嗰時會記憶起，好大機會記憶到啲。
An example, my mother, she was a very pious lady. When she used to go to sleep, she used to always tell God, take me like this only in my sleep. And that's how she went. Nothing wrong with her. So is that good or bad? She went in her sleep. So she had no, she must speak the...
Yes. I'll say the question for the microphone. The question is, a pious lady, his mother, every day before going to sleep, she was praying that she leaves her body when she's sleeping. That's how she left. Is that good or is that bad? Right? Yeah.
Without last word was
Yes.
唔係佢個母親晚晚瞓覺話唔該俾我，如果我要過身，俾我係瞓覺嗰時過身。咁佢真係瞓覺時過咗身。咁呢個係好唔好？
一個問題嚟嘅， 你同我客人佢話佢母親佢虔誠嘅，一路都喺度。咁佢有個意願咧，就係佢死亡即係咁瞓着咗死亡。咁咧結果佢死亡嘅時候真係咁瞓着咁去世嘅。咁想知道係咪好嘅
？So even though visibly she wasn't awake or conscious, at the moment of death, it's a moment, it's not a second. And so the moment of death, everybody are conscious and everybody has the thoughts coming in. So even if you're sleeping, for that moment of death,
you're conscious.
You're conscious, yes.
咁事實咧，你哋係沉睡之中啊，但係你死亡嗰一刻，呢個知覺係
And so,
有知覺。
if she was a pious lady, for that moment of death, she probably remembered something good.
Because we don't know.
Yes.
We were all asleep now.
Yes, we won't know, but
佢母親係咁虔誠咧，咁佢應該死亡嗰刻瞓着咗。
if she was a pious lady, then she definitely thought of something good. It may not be Lord, maybe something pious, maybe she went to heaven, maybe she's enjoying there now. We won't know. But because if she remembered Krishna anytime in her life, she thought of Krishna, she went to temple or something, did something connected to the Lord, there's a good chance that the Lord did come in her mind. Because a few verses back, Krishna says that if you practice, then in the end I will come to the person's mind.
咁當然我哋唔知佢死亡之後去邊咧，但係由於係平日咁虔誠咧，佢會想住 Krishna 咧，我哋相信佢臨終嗰一刻咧 ，Krishna 會進入佢腦海。
One thing we can do to, you can say, test ourselves if we're thinking about the Lord, is to see what dreams we have at night. What dreams? When we sleep, we're dreaming. So we can test ourselves if we're being Krishna conscious enough by what kind of dreams we have.
咁所以，譬如你睡夢之中咧，經常去做夢咧，你經常想住 Krishna，咁你夢中係咪會想起 Krishna？
Because usually dreams are a combination of different things you've been doing yesterday or throughout the week.
其實夢境咧就你日常咗做成一個影像啊，喺夢中嘅生活嘅過程咧，我哋影像緊喺夢中出現。
And so maybe you have had experience, but if you're engaged in devotional activities, you will probably have some devotional dreams.
所以你經常做奉獻服務咧，行上咁做咧，好可能你嘅夢中係一樣係有奉獻服務呢啲印象。
Like for me to have devotional dreams, the more I read scripture, and at night I have devotional dreams. Not connected to the scripture at all, but I see deities and guru, and it's like, oh, nice.
所以有時白夫本人咧，你成日面對住呢啲神像照片Krishna 嘅，咁你嘅知覺咧就經常個腦海都有呢啲影像出現關於 Krishna。
Of course, we'll have different dreams because the mind is our mind.
當然我哋嘅心意係好廣闊嘅，你會可能有唔同嘅夢境。
But the most important is that about 80% of the day should be Krishna conscious.
但係個重點咧就係我哋每日嘅活動咧，80%咧同 Krishna 有關，你自然個夢中就會。
The more, the better.
當然更大嘅成分對同 Krishna 有關咧，更大嘅機會係想念 Krishna，即使在夢中。
But the more you can do, the better. But if it should be natural, you shouldn't push, because if you're pushing it, you don't like doing it. If you don't like doing it, you won't remember it.
需要刻意或者勉強去做呢啲，但係好自然係嗰個影像同你個活動有關聯。Yeah, I feel. In a week or so, before sleeping, the same.
Yes, that's why Prabhupada recommended before going to sleep that you read Krishna book or something spiritual.
所以 Krishna 巴爸媽咧係好注重去寫呢個法律啲完全 Krishna book。
So it's not so that you have dreams, but so that you start the day Krishna consciously, and you end the day with reading or doing something spiritual.
最好咧要 Krishna 開始由你個日中嘅生活，然後晚上結束你嘅一日嘅時候，又想住 Krishna 同 Krishna 有關嘅事情。
Like
Yes.
yesterday I was on the MTR and there was a young girl that said, I love the Beatles, and I was reading the Chant and Be Happy at the same time with the John Lennon
Yes.
and George Harrison at the back, the old ones.
Yes.
So I looked at her and I said, oh, excuse me, you really love Beatles? She said, yes. And I said, you should read this book. Because I couldn't get mine, it was a bit discolored.
Yes.
So she took a picture of it and said, yes, I will look for it. So why I share this is because it's true. When you are thinking of Krishna or reading the Prabhupada's books, always there is a connection with the
Yes.
connection with someone. I mean, I wonder, it was her time, like, she, like to be introduced, like.
Yes.
No, I want to, it's a question. The question is, because I was, I was, okay, 即係我睇緊個書 Krishna Conscious Be Happy and Chanting 咁有個女仔係根本着咗個 T-shirt 話我愛 Beatles George Harrison 咁我就同佢傾偈咁佢影咗幅相咁我就想知係咪佢個時間即我都冇去特登去 preaching 或者咩但係即係有呢個經驗即係有呢個 cross 我即係介紹咗非常之個係啊係咪佢個時間？所以咧，
因為呢people
唔係中英文中文。
哦，我都有時我哋會遇到啲新人啦，或者朋友，我就會同佢傾起一啲關於 Krishna 之國，咁係咪？譬如喺呢個喺街上見到，
即係嗰啲
喺街上啲車上啲人，
即係有個 connection，
有啲會提起 Krishna 之國咧，
佢有
咁佢連
接受。
Krishna 之國會有啲關聯，可以發展啦。咁係咪可以幫到佢同 Krishna 有連接咁解？
So the laws of material karma are very hard to understand. Nobody knows how they work. Laws of karma.
係業報嘅法律係好精密。
And the laws of spiritual activities, it's even harder to understand.
但係靈性活動嗰個法律更加難以理解嘅。
And so we cannot know for sure if it was because of you that you met her, or it was something pious, something spiritual that she did before that she met you.
當然唔好肯定你同嗰個女士啊外邊嘅人提及非常會同非常有連結啦，你未必肯定。
But it's usually that they did something good, and then they met you because you did something good. And so the combination of those together makes the connection of both of you.
都可能係一個緣分咧，你哋嘅相遇啊，咁由此嚟接觸到非常都冇話唔係可能。
And so we don't have enough power to give unconditional love and conditional knowledge. Prabhupada had, Mahaprabhu, we don't have. And so it's they did something good before that brought them to the situation to sit next to you, opposite you in the MTR.
我哋唔係好似包學巴話其他話咁有力量嘅，但係遇到啲人你可以同佢講啲關於非常之嘅，對佢有幫助。
But if you weren't reading that book, you wouldn't give anything to her. You wouldn't tell her.
I wouldn't have related.
Yes.
Her
Yes. So it's a connection of her doing something good before and you reading the book at the same time that makes the connection. So
可能佢之前嘅活動啊，成會有啲吻合，咁就安排咗你哋相遇，然後就由此接觸到非常，聽到非常嘅名。
and so the more we do, the more chance of us giving it to others.
當然我哋可以俾到人多啲機會啦。如果你有啲咁嘅類似嘅經驗，可以同講到 Krishna。
And also the more we know, the more we practice, the more steady we are, it is easier to give it to others and it's easier for them to accept because we're so confident.
因為多啲接觸咧，多啲去收集咧，咁我哋進步係會快啲嘅，呢個係好。
Because if you're not confident in what you believe, little faith, they don't feel it. to the people who you're talking to, they'll feel that you don't have enough faith.
所以個信念自己係增加好深刻嘅時候，你同佢講嘢嘅時候咧，亦都係將你嘅信念係賦予咗俾人，係有影響嘅。
And since Prabhupada said that we are a preaching movement, for us to preach effectively, we have to be very strong in our conviction.
所以巴話話，假如我哋要我哋嘅傳教有效咧，最好你嘅信心係非常強烈嘅，傳教咧就會更加成功。
When Prabhupada was here, there were many disciples who were just waking up, doing the morning program and going to distribute books, coming back and going to sleep. Waking up, morning program, distribute books, whole day, come back and go to sleep.
咁啊，巴陣時嘅表前奉獻者就係咁起身啦，收集咗你嘅規範嘅讀派書啦，再翻嚟廟堂
就瞓覺咯，即係夜晚黑啦已經。
即係翻到廟堂又再睇書啊，然後睡眠啦，咁呢一日嗰個活動就係咁。
And they thought they're making Prabhupada happy, distributing books whole day.
假如你整日去派書啊，聖巴巴更加高。
But when Prabhupada figured out, when he found out, he wasn't happy. When Prabhupada found out that they were doing it, distributing books whole day, he was not happy. Prabhupada was not happy that they're distributing books whole day.
If you did not distribute,
No.
假如派書整日，
即係嗰啲奉獻者咧，就係朝頭早做咗Bhagāvatam，就成日出去派書，咁翻嚟咧冇即係夜到要瞓覺，但係咧Prabhu聽到時咧佢唔開心，因為咧佢唔開心佢理解，即係佢Prabhu知道佢成日去。
都係最經典啊！
No, not happy.
Not happy. They thought because they're distributing books the whole day, Prabhupada will be happy. But when Prabhupada found out, when Prabhupada heard that they're distributing books whole day, nothing else, he was not happy.
一再講翻聖巴巴嗰個講法啊！有啲奉獻者由一早起身咁樣一超啦，跟住Japa，跟住全日去派書，跟住翻嚟瞓覺咯。咁但係其實巴巴唔高興，點解？
And he said, you have to read my books, you have to study my books.
因為巴巴佢有咩高興？巴巴係因為你要讀我嘅書，唔係淨係去派。
He said, who am I writing those books for? My disciples.
假如唔係咁，我寫啲書嚟做乜嘢？如果啲門徒都唔讀我嘅書，你 how can you expect people?
Yes, of course it's for Prabhupada is writing books for everybody else, but most importantly it's for his disciples, for his grand disciples, for us.
我寫嘅書都係為我哋啲人而設咧，但係其實主要咧係寫俾奉獻者，你一定要閱讀咁解。
So of course you go distribute books, you go for Harinam, but it's important that you spend enough time every day reading Prabhupada's books, studying them, going deeper.
當然去批啦係好事嚟嘅，但係你都要留翻啲時間去閱讀先，見包翻嘅書籍先有力嘅。
And discussing them with your friends, with other people who you know, what you read, something interesting, you share it.
因為你同朋友之間傾談都可以分享讀咗啲書。
So it was good that you were reading.
Yes, I'm trying very hard. It's difficult.
Yes.
For mine.
There are also audiobooks if you want to. There's an audiobook for Bhagavatam. You can just listen to that. You'll be, for example, if you're cooking, let's say, or you're doing something, you don't have to think that much. There are audiobooks for Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. You can just listen to the books.
你講緊咩？
唔係即係如果我讀書係好難，咁佢話有嗰啲錄音嘅。
Yeah, sure. You can hear some of them. My experience saying when I was here at the very beginning when I feel devoted, no time to read at all.
Yes.
I read it so much, but I do not. But every day we do Śrimad class. It's more effective than reading because the content is so.
Yes. But also you can read the audiobook. So somebody, like for example, recording of somebody reading.
Now, but you know,
Yes. Before that there was not. Yes.
咁呢個經驗我都有啊，你係冇時間嘅，即係有啲人冇興趣讀書，你可以聽嗰個 audio 啊、錄音啊，一樣係。
If you're actually listening, to the audiobook, it's as effective as reading.
假如你好專注咁去聆聽呢啲錄音啊講座咧，你同讀書係冇分冇意冇別。
Main problem with audiobooks is people don't listen. They put their earphones on or put the speaker on and they don't listen. And they think, I read the book.
好多人其實係裝好似係聽緊嘅，但係都唔係一定去聽，咁就係冇用。
Otherwise, it's just as good.
假如唔係都可以，唔係睇書就可以聽。
Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Yes, please. Okay, you were saying whatever we do, whatever we eat, offer it to Krishna.
Yes.
I haven't offered my food yet because I'm still finding out. No, I'm finding out, you know. And I notice because Hong Kong Temple, you know, there's no training. Like everyone is, you know, like very busy with their seva.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm here for 3 years, and I really have. I'm learning a lot by hearing that the offering of Krishna, or you know, like, or what is a devotee meant to do at home and stuff. I don't hear much, but right now, one devotee did come and say, "Oh, are you offering food?" And I said, "No," because you know I never knew, and no one has really told me. But of course, now I'm getting myself ready, but you know, there's so much. You know, it's not just 5 minutes and then I can do it. So I want to know whatever I do. Of course, whatever I eat, but first I'm learning. But whatever I do, can I be out on the street like because I have the etiquette of like European like supermarket. I say, "Oh, how are you?" and everything. But here they don't have time for that. But I still do it on the bus. "Oh, thank you very much. How are you? Bye." You know, even when I'm at the back door. "Bye, thank you."
Yes.
So can I meet people on the street and supermarket ladies and go, you know, when they give me back my change, "Thank you, Hare Krishna." Can I end with Hare Krishna and a hello with a Hare Krishna?
The answer short is yes, you can. But let them translate. Or you translate that.
你講完晒啲喎，唔係咁。
唔係，我淨係問，好 short。我淨係想問，我喺街嗰時係超市啊，或者上巴士，我可唔可以？即係我係根本會話早晨啊，你好，我可唔可以話早晨你好 Hare Krishna？ 走時咧 ，Thank you Hare Krishna。
我成日都係咁喎，我超市都落啲拉公，可以嗎？Oh, one question. It's not in the daily life.
唔係中文嘅。
好，anyway， 可以。When you meet people in the street, but you just say Hare Krishna or Hare Krishna, is it okay? I often do this actually. They don't understand, but they are quite friendly.
Chinese, Cantonese.
They understand. They can hear the whole
You translate to Cantonese.
其實你問個問題喎，有時對出邊啲人都係講呢啲，我哋叫術語啊，哈利公啊，咁好似打招呼咁有冇問題咧？
Well, the first part, so even if you don't have time or you don't know how to offer food, at least in the mind, you say, Krishna, please accept this.
重點啊講到嗰啲供奉食物咧，假如即係未有呢個準備咧，正式供奉咧，起碼你個心意上，Krishna 你請你食先啦，已經都可以。
Because Krishna says in Bhagāvatam, if you offer a leaf, flower, water, fruit with love and devotion, I will accept.
喺著名嘅使節啊，國家梵嗰 Krishna，你無論供奉任何東西啊，花、一杯水、一個水果、一塊葉，我都會。如果以我嘅心供奉，我都會接受。
And so, if you're still learning how to, or again you don't have time, Krishna, please accept. Maybe chant some small mantra if you want to. That's the minimum. That's good enough because you're still offering it, right? The main part is what you feel, what you think of. I'm offering to Krishna. Of course, once you have some deities, like in a temple here or at home, then you should do more, some proper procedures. But you have a picture, or even no picture, just in the mind, you can think, Krishna, please accept.
能像乜都好，甚至喺個腦海中係供奉咧，Krishna 都會接受。
And with the second part, if you meet somebody and say hi, Hare Krishna,
即係問嘅第一點。
they might think you're doing something crazy because they don't understand what Hare Krishna means. But here, if they're fine with it, you try. If everybody just says hi back, they don't think you're crazy, then it's fine. Like in Russia, for example, people are very, like, I don't know what's the word, but if you say something weird, they're like, what are you saying? So in Russia, it's a bit more, for example, like because I come from Russia, so there you can say, but they'll be like,
They take it strong.
they'll ask questions, and not in a nice way.
Oh. Yeah, like in case you were cursing
街上
them.
就打招呼可以用一啲喺
No, wrong idea.
Exactly.
可能有啲人反應又唔同嘅，都唔係好在意。
But here, I think it's more open. I think so. At least compared to Russia, I have seen. So maybe I think it should be fine. You try,
I do. I mean, like.
and if it works, then just continue.
I mean,
Because you're helping them.
No, I mean, like
In a sense.
you say good morning, they never answer you back, and I still say good morning. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I
You
say thank you.
Just add Hare
You
Krishna to
don't
that.
say anything.
Add-
So I just, for me, because in my head it's like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So I want to just say it out when I say hello or thank you. But there is no reaction.
But then say both. Hello, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. So it makes sense to them.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
So it makes sense. I was like, huh?
No, not just Hare
Right,
Krishna,
yes.
but when I always say good morning,
Yes.
hello, even
Yeah.
though they don't say back.
Perfect.
But I prefer to, I mean, I really feel Hare Krishna. Okay, understand. As long as it's like not offensive or
Yes.
like the culture.
Yes.
介意啊，或者會順意。This is a friendly approach. No one to be
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it depends on the country. In different countries, they react differently.
Yes.
In China, people are so simple. Talk to the doctor, nurse, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Like in India, for example,
India.
you say anything like, for example, you're driving in the car and you stop on the street light.
俄羅斯啲人比較敏感啲嘅，你講呢啲就唔知你講乜，有啲反應麻麻。但係喺中國就好友善嘅，呢個你係好易。
So in India, you can be driving in the car and you see somebody stop by, you just start talking to them as if they're your friends. It's very open.
幾中意俾到正面嘅你。
And so you have to see it. But here, I think it's fine.
Krishna's name.
Yes. Yes.
冇問題。
Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Grantarashna Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Sthana Premanande. Ciao.
你在中国，你要说 Hare Krishna，然后呢，他们就会问什么意思？